Chris Wiles, Chief of the Danville Police Department. Wanted to take this opportunity to introduce you to some new faces and also to a new vehicle that you're going to start seeing in our community Monday, June 9th. With me here I have Brandon Lauterbach. He's with Pivot Parking. Also on the other side here we have John Riggins. John is our operations manager here for the city with Pivot Parking. And David Hancock, who's our parking ambassador. And day in and day out, you're going to be seeing David on the street operating this vehicle. And John will also be out there too, and he'll be the operations manager for Pivot Parking as they begin their services here in the city officially this coming Monday. So again, we want to take this opportunity to share with you, introduce you to these gentlemen, and to let you know about and see the vehicle here. It's a City of Danville vehicle that's in partnership with Pivot. You'll see Pivot Parking on the side here. You also notice too, up on the top there, there's some cameras. Those are license plate reader cameras, and that's the technology that's going to be used to be able to identify and mark, digitally mark, and to be able to make notice when somebody may be parked over time or parked in an area they're not supposed to be parking. So technology based, no longer going to have a parking enforcement officer walking up and down the street with a physical ticket book and with a piece of chalk to chalk tires, bringing our parking technology into the 21st century. And to that end, our ultimate partnership with Pivot Parking started about a year or so ago, where economic development, police department, and other partners in the city realized everything that's going on in the downtown area, all the growth, all the new businesses, certainly too all the new residential properties that are developing and in the works in the downtown area. Parking is always a challenge in a downtown area. And so we've had parking enforcement officers off and on with the police department, and kind of low tech again, and really doesn't address really the where we're going with the city and all the wonderful things that are happening in the downtown area. Requires a much broader solution. And so that's what brought us Parking Whisperer, John Oglesby. And then through that study with John Oglesby, they're a strategic partner with Pivot Parking, and brought Pivot to the city of Danville. So that went through a very rigorous process, and they really had an outstanding platform and services. So we're very confident with Parking Whisperer and Pivot Parking and the services they're going to bring. So Brandon, tell us a little bit about what Pivot Parking brings to the city of Danville.
Thank you, Chief. And like you said, I mean, I think it's coming up on, it feels like almost 2 years now when we first engaged with the city and economic development. And kudos to the city for getting ahead of what looks to be a forthcoming parking problem. You have certain pockets throughout downtown right now. But as we really dove into the initial, what was supposed to be just an enforcement strategy, we realized that the city needed probably a much broader and expanded parking program, which we're excited to now be involved and help move that program forward in a phased approach. Obviously, we're going to start out with the enforcement, but the technology that we're going to be implementing not only allows for more efficient enforcement and compliance throughout the city, but it's also going to allow us to collect data occupancy-wise and really get to know the behavior and where the parking issues may pop up once the enforcement on a consistent basis begins.
Right, and that's really what you guys bring. I mean, you guys are professionals, right?
Yeah.
And so y'all are able to bring those strategies that, like, I mean, there's different needs in parking, right? So like our retail facilities, retail businesses, restaurants in the downtown area, they really need those spaces for customers to come and go to turn over pretty quickly. Yeah. That's a different need than, say, somebody who's living in one of the residential areas in the downtown area. They're not turning over. They need to park in an area that is going to more long term and that doesn't take up those short-term spaces that are needed for our business, the business community that's in the downtown area. So,
you're exactly right.
You guys bring that skill set and that technical expertise that we just don't have.
Well, and you're right. And like I said, that technology is going to allow us to gather the data that we need to further assess the needs of the different users. Because like you said, I mean, with all the residential boom that you guys have going on downtown, on top of the retail, and once we got the feedback and got to know the merchants and their issues and their concerns, that also allowed us to start putting together a strategy that again is going to start out with phase one of enforcing what you got. Then we're going to use that to probably look at implementing some type of permit program for, like you said, the residents, maybe the business owners and the employees that also need a place to park while they're working, but also afford that turnover for their customers during the daytime hours, for that turnover, and allow them to find accessible and readily available parking. And then, in our experience, which we have a lot of, and we've seen this, time and time again in cities such as Danville that have such a exponential growth coming, that eventually leads to a paid parking program. And obviously we have experience with that, but again, are taking a phased approach, make sure that anything and everything that we do is done appropriately with the right feedback, the right input, and the right outreach, so that everybody is aware of what's going on, the changes that are going to be made, so that we've got everybody's buy-in. Because again, the objective is to accommodate everybody's needs. We're not here to be the bad guys and just write tickets.
That's right.
If it were up to us, we wouldn't write a ticket, because that means the parking program is working as it should.
Exactly.
And we'll get there. I mean, that's the goal, is to help the city with this overall ecosystem and parking program. You've got the new parking garage coming on board here. That just got approved. I mean, so we're going to be here to assist every step of the way. Again, not just out here writing tickets. We're here as your consultant, your partner, and extension of the city now, to help you with that growth as it relates to the parking program.
That's great. Yeah, so a lot of exciting things. That parking deck that's going to be constructed there on Spring Street, right there between Market and Union Street. So that's a done deal. Going to bring a lot of additional parking spaces, and obviously something that nice and something that has that many spaces, we're going to need to have some also technology and how you use, and because there's some of that will have to be allocated for residential properties. More and more developments before that's funded through financial institutions, they're required to make sure that if they're funding in this case, the renovation of a former warehouse space in the residential units, that they're required to have a certain number of parking spaces available for those units before they fund them. So adequate and available parking is important to economic development. And like you said, it's not about writing tickets. It's not about paid parking generating revenue for the sake of revenue. It's none of those things. Just like with the police department, we don't write speeding tickets to generate revenue. We write speeding tickets to try to get people to slow down, because people slow down, less chance of accidents, less chance of injuries, have a safer community. Likewise with parking, whether it's restricted parking to, again, drive turnover for where it's needed, whether it's paid parking to incentivize, and again, as a behavior to try to get people where they need to be. And then ultimately, like with parking decks, which are required for our community to be successful in those residential areas to grow, and the customers to come and go and have available parking. So pretty excited about that, and really just kind of the first step. And so I know you guys you and certainly John have done a lot of outreach for the last, you've been on the ground for the better part of a month now, John, and so we've done a lot of face-to-face, a lot of meetings, and the River District Association is a big partner. Obviously, the business community down there has a strong network, and so have engaged those folks early on, and built those relationships, and kind of, again, understanding that this is really the start of a much broader suite of parking management solutions that Pivot is able to bring to the city of Danville. Again, ultimately to make Danville a better place and have better parking and move parking where it needs to be. So, John, appreciate the work you've done reaching out. Brandon, again, we really look forward to a growing partnership with Pivot Parking, and David, who will be out there as a parking ambassador. So if you see these guys on the street, say hey. They're here to make our community better, and in partnership with the police department. And again, we look forward to everything that Pivot brings and to enhance our downtown area. And again, like you said, Brandon, there's some options like that may even expand outside of the downtown area that you're able to do, like permits and things of that nature. And so, yeah, we look forward to that technology that you'll be able to bring to us to make that a much more efficient process for folks.
Absolutely, and we're excited to be here, and we're excited to help watch this community grow. And that's why I just want to mention too, that's why, David is a parking ambassador, not enforcement officer. So if you see him out there on the street, feel free to stop him, ask him questions. we're here to educate everybody on what they should be doing or where they should be parking, not necessarily where they shouldn't be parking,
right.
or not, can't park. So we're here to be a part of the community. We're looking forward to it, and looking forward to bringing our technology and implementing the strategies that are going to help this continue to grow.
All right. Well, great. Well, Brandon, thank you so much.
Thank you, Chief.
Appreciate it, and look forward to, again, our partnership continuing on. John and David, thank y'all, and appreciate your time.